Good evening, everyone. Yes, we launch a brand new one-day special at 6 o'clock every day here on Hochanda. And the live hours are 6 p.m, 8 p.m. We go to repeats overnight. In the morning, it's 8 a.m, 12 p.m, and 4 p.m. final call. A one-day special. We bring you great products that are discounted for those 24 hours. This is your one-day special. If you've wanted to extend your techniques in watercolouring, maybe you're new to this particular medium and you want to start with the right kind of teaching, this is going to be a fantastic one-day special for you. Great value for money as well. From the SAA, we'll be talking to Anita from the SAA in a moment's time to talk about the society and the benefits, but I just want to tell you what you're getting with your one-day special. You're saving £10 on this deal, and it's brand new today. Now, everything is going to be dispatched from the 6th of May. And there's plenty of items to check out on the website. Can I just give you a quick peruse in the book before we talk to Anita, if you don't mind? So I just want you to see from Jane Betteridge in here, renowned artist, all the different techniques that you will be learning. We were just having a look at this before the start of the show, myself and Leonie, from a distance, of course, but they're absolutely fantastic. And techniques that perhaps you've seen on paintings and you've always thought to yourself, I'd love to be able to do that. Well, with step-by-step tuition, not just on the book, might I add, because we all learn differently. There's also a DVD available in this particular deal. Your DVD right there, so you can pop that into your DVD players, or if you've got CD-ROM on your computers, then you will be able to have a look at the lessons by Jane and also use the granulation medium there as well. That will really help you with your pigments in your watercolours. £28.09, 725 211 is your item number if you want to take advantage of that and the discount that we've got. Right, we have got Anita online from the SAA. Hello Anita, how are you?
Hello. Hello Janice.
Are you staying safe and well, Anita?
Yes, I'm working from home, which I've actually grabbed lots of materials that I thought I'd need and brought them home so I could work, but I do a lot of computer work as well, so that helps.
Fantastic. Well, it's lovely to have your company. Can we just talk about the SAA if we can? I'm sure there's lots of people out there that have heard of the SAA, but can you tell us a little bit about them?
Well, the SAA is really like a huge, great art community. We have over 23,000 products, which we're stock taking very soon. So that's fun. Doing it slightly different this year, obviously. But not only products, it's the community. So we have online tuition. The DVDs are made at the SAA. So we have a studio, which I spend a little time in doing a few tuitions. We have workshops at the SAA where people can come in and meet the artists and actually spend a 4-hour workshop with artists like Jane, who come in regularly, and the people really love that hands-on experience with the artists.
And what's sorry. And what's really nice about the SAA as well, because it's a family, a membership, is that you get to have access to not only all these great tutorials and artists, but also the right equipment as well.
Yeah. And like you say, it is a membership. So you join the SAA and the list of benefits is you get members' prices. So we try and get better prices for members. You get free postage and all of these things add up. And that's what we like to think of it as a community. We're not just wanting to say, this is what you need, this is what you should buy. We want you to say, this is what you need, this is what you can buy, this is how you use it, and this is what you can do. And it's really nice, the feedback we get from customers or members. And, you know, we like to, you know, interact with them that way. It's the community. I think that's the big thing that I can sum the SAA up as, is an art community.
Yeah, and that's lovely because people can share their thoughts and their ideas. It's about the products, it's about learning, and it's about support as well. So how do we become a member of the SAA? We're just going to show you on our website, just to let you know, Anita. This is how people can join the SAA through the Hochanda website. They can find the products on the show. But don't buy it from us, just follow the link that we've got on our website, and that link will take you through to the SAA website, and there you go, and then you can see there, you just click on join now, and that will take you through all of the features and benefits, and then it will check you out accordingly. And it's a great website, isn't it, Anita?
Yeah, absolutely. So you have the shop site, but you have the other sites, you have a community site. So whatever you really are looking for as an artist or a beginner, or not even know where to start, you can look at tuition. You can look for an artist in your area. You can, join an art group. You can find art groups in your area. So it's all just supporting artists, giving them the tools to help themselves. And the team in the office are wonderful. They have product knowledge because I train them on new products. So you ring them up and say, I've seen this, I don't know what it does. And they are so, well trained, and they have a go. So not only do they just train or read about something, they physically touch pens and play with pens or play with Brusho, and they enjoy it. And that's the really nice thing. It's not only a community of outside people, but a community in the SAA as well.
Yeah, and that's really lovely, especially when you buy the products, you get them home, you start playing with them.
Yeah.
It means you've got the right products to set you off. Anita, thank you so much for Skyping in. We really do appreciate it. I know your time is precious, of course. Do take care and stay safe at home.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anita. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. That's Anita Pounder from the SAA. Remember, if you want to become a member, do so through our website. Follow the link. You don't buy from us. You go through to the SAA website, and then you can join your membership. Now, we are approaching 10% of the one-day special gone already. I did say that we have a DVD for you as well as the book, and that granulation medium as well, which really helps you to give texture to your watercolour paints. We've got a clip from the DVD to show you, and I do believe that on this clip it is the lovely Jane. Here she is.
I'm going to mix up two colours. Windsor yellow, which is a lovely strong yellow. I'm using a pipette to add the water to this as I mix it, to keep dirt in the water when I put my brush back in. Where it meets the yellow, obviously it's made green. I just need to tilt it a little bit to make it run. And that green now, especially in that area there, we're getting some lovely effects. If you mix a green in your palette and apply it to your paper, you don't get these effects. It's best to let your paint mix itself on the paper. There we go. Right, so before we go any further, that's got to dry really thoroughly, and I can't emphasise that enough, else it'll just come away when the paper's wet. And I want it to run upwards because I don't want a lot of colour up the top. I'm going to aim for having a more interesting foreground. Water would move it to a certain extent, but it wouldn't enhance the granulation like the medium does. So I do tend to always use the medium. And the final piece de resistance is light green. This is a lovely fresh colour that I'm just going to add to brighten the whole thing up. And this granulates lovely. And the ones on top aren't soaking into the water, so it creates a shadowy effect, and which is just right for a dandelion head. So this can be quite time consuming, but you just work your way around, keep working your way around all the time, spattering until you've built up a really nice white. Obviously the darker side shows up better than the lighter side. Just working my way around. I'm not going to do loads of them, you know, it establishes what it is, and there's going to be more on this side than that side because they've all blown away anyway. And then I'm just getting the brush and just pulling out just some white lines. Just here and there to suggest other seed heads, but I'm not actually putting the actual heads on them. I'm still assessing everywhere, you know, I'm just looking wherever I look around the edge of the clock to make sure I'm happy with the outside edge of it that feathers away. I'll just paint a couple coming away from the centre there and flying off to the outside.
How amazing. I want to have a go at that. And that granulation medium really does make a difference. So that's your one-day special, but we've got more for you. Watercolours might not be your thing. You might be painting with oils, or you might want to learn to paint with oils. Well, this is going to enable you to do it quickly. And by that we mean we can get you straight into using your oils. Now let me just open up the book that we've got here. This is by Hazel Sohn. And you've got 112 pages in here, so a really nice introduction. And then you've got lots of different techniques. So palette knife, painting with a palette knife. This is something that I absolutely adore. And I really like using acrylic paints with a palette knife. So this could really help actually with those techniques. So reflections on water, for example. Let's just head towards the back because we've got some techniques on animals as well. And if you follow these stages and you follow these techniques, then of course you can, as it says there, go for it. £26.34 gets you Learn Oils Quickly, also gets you the DVD as well, and you get 2 brushes. Now you've got 2 different sizes of the brushes here. I believe it is, forget my glasses on, a number 6 and a number 10. And these are beautiful, and you've got that really nice long arm to your brush as well, so you don't have to get too close to the canvas as you're painting, which is sometimes very, very beneficial. Do like that. So you get the 2 brushes included. Those are your interlocked brushes, and you get your DVD as well. So this could be something that's brand new to you, or you might have dipped your toes into oil painting, but you need help. You need help. This can help you, as it says, very quickly. 702192 is your item number, £26.34. You're saving £11 on this deal. Now, to give you a little taste of the DVD and what you can expect, take a look at this.
Oil paint is made from pigment mixed with oil, usually linseed oil or poppy oil. And the pigments can be made from earth, from metals, or from carbon. You only need to squeeze out as much as you think you need for your painting. You can keep it on the palette for a while before it'll actually dry hard, so it's not like acrylic in that regard. But basically what you want to do is spread your colours around the palette, so your lighter ones are one end going into your darker ones. The bright is short and stubby, and you have to be a bit careful with the bright because it can take off as much paint as it puts on, but it's ideal for little short marks, so maybe little bits of foliage if you're trying to create an impressionist feel, or just dabbing, but you don't want to be scrubbing it around or you're going to lift off the colour you've put on. Light and shade are of extreme importance because it's through painting light and shade that you enable the viewer to think that you have created three-dimensional form on the flat surface of the painting. As the rim is catching top light, and on top of the handle is light because again that's the top light, and there'll be a little bit of light on the underside of the handle where that's catching a little bit of the light. Then the dark colour, so now we're bringing a band of the dark colour, I'm using Prussian blue, down the dark side and inside. And then a nice fine round brush to tidy up the rim. And of course anything lit is going to cast a shadow. And the same thing, we need to blend it darker from the mug itself. If you can get used to seeing a painting by its tone and realise that the actual colour is not quite as crucial as getting the tone right, you'll find it a lot easier to paint, because you'll be able to mix a colour and use it in many different places because it's the right tone for that area. Now we want to bring in some deeper darks for some of these wrinkles, so we're going to take a bit of the linseed oil and thinners mix so that we don't make our black made from the ultramarine and the red too thin. We want it to be oily paint. I love painting figures. If you paint one leg slightly higher than the other, you give the impression immediately that they're walking towards you.
Absolutely fascinating. There's something very relaxing about painting, something very relaxing about watching those demonstrations there from Hazel Sohn. Wow, absolutely amazing. Now, we do have a pick and mix on some watercolour paints for you. You can choose any 3, and there's so many different colours to choose from as well. Top quality Artist watercolour, 14mm in each one, £16.99, so you can pick and mix any 3. You could go for your primary colours, so you could mix other colours when you get these home, or you might be missing certain colours, so you can add those to your collection. Maybe you're running out, you use maybe the Persian blue, so you want some more of that. So many different colours to choose from. And again, if you can't think of any to choose, go for the primary colours so you can mix and match colours and further colours. 436182 is your item number. Now, if you like to paint landscapes, whether this be sitting outdoors, taking your equipment outside when we can and it's safe to do so, or maybe you're painting from photographs. That's not cheating. You can paint from photographs, especially in this particular situation we're in at the moment and we can't go out. We can still paint. We can still paint those wonderful landscapes. And what we've got here is a DVD, we've got a book, and we've also got some paper for you as well. You've got 7 sheets in different colours. Now you've got white, you've got light grey, you've got maize, buttercup, sand, light green and light blue. And they are 25 by 35 centimetres. Now, former SAA President Jeremy Ford is a professional artist and illustrator, so you're in good hands here with your painting with pastels. And on this one, there's 60 minutes on your DVD. In the book itself, I just bring this forward for you just so you can see there. First of all, look at the image that's on there. The use of the colours to bring out the light is quite extraordinary, isn't it? It really is. With the light on the snow, it looks like a photograph. It's not, it's a painting. Open this up, I don't want to give too much away, but you can see there from the index all the different landscapes that you'll be able to paint, so whether it's skyscapes, for example, using your colours and blending, for example. Just moving this over to show you some of the techniques of the different brushes and different techniques of different paints that you'll be using as well. And there you go, creating light at different times of the day. Really does make a difference, really, really does make a difference to your paintings. Start the right way, that's what it's all about. £20.50, saving £10.09. That's just for the book and the DVD. Beg your pardon. So just for the book and the DVD. If you want the pastel matte as well as the book and the DVD, that's your price just there, saving £10, £37.14. So just to make that clear, 317322 gets you the DVD, the book and also gets you the pastel matte paper. That's £37.14. If you don't want the paper and you just want to go for the book and the DVD, that's at the bottom of the screen there, 768763, and that is your landscapes book and DVD with Jeremy Ford, previous president of the SAA, so you will be in excellent hands. And we've got a clip of that DVD, and here is Jeremy himself.
My paper of choice is Clairefontaine's pastel matte paper, which comes in a variety of different colours. I often let the subject matter dictate what colour paper I use, and here are a few examples. You can see the colour of the paper around the edge here, and how I've left little bits of the paper showing on the dry sand and here and there in the clouds. Here's a darker brown paper, and I chose this colour to show some of the wet sand, which is darker, and there's little bits of it showing here and there throughout the beach. This colour paper is called anthracite. It's almost black. Because there are a lot of shadows in this picture, this colour paper was the perfect choice. So I'm going to show you how to do a couple of different skies. When you first get a pastel, it might be a little bit big or unwieldy, so one of the first things I do is to break them in half, and then I can just use part of this, and it's just that bit easier. I'm using the body of the pastel very gently over the surface of the paper, and then using a finger very lightly, without pressing too hard, that just pushes the pastel into the paper and makes the clouds a little bit more distant. So very loosely you can put the pastel on and then move it around a little bit, and then that just gives you a base to work on top of afterwards. You don't have to worry too much about this stage. Work into this gradually. So then, using an ordinary brush, I've put some of the alcohol in the lid, and then you can move it around a little bit, and you can see immediately it darkens the pastel. A slight dip in the middle there, and starting at the top of the sky, using the black, the side of the black, very gently, just carry that across, and then as I come lower down, reduce the pressure a little bit, so it's a little bit more solid up at the top. Now the black is extremely strong, it's very, very powerful, so you don't need a huge amount, and I can always put some more on later if I need to. When you're doing your trees, it's not essential to have exactly the same shaped branches. It's quite tempting to put one on the left and an identical one on the right, one on the left and an identical one on the right. You can do that a little bit, but trees aren't like that in reality. Well, a few might have some corresponding branches on the other side, but try not to make them look too uniform, too precise or too neat.
It's always very clever, isn't it, when you see that and you think, wow, it looks so easy. And it will be when you watch the DVD, when you ingest that information and try it yourself. That's what it's all about. But trying it the right way, under the guidance, that's what it's all about. Right, do you like big cats? Do you like painting big cats? Now, let's put it this way. You're not going to be that close to one of these big cats to paint, but this is going to give you all of the different details of how to put the cats together, the anatomy of the cat, the shading, for example. And again, it's about doing it the right way, from sketching to painting to full-on colour, from Vic Bearcroft. Now, Vic is a self-taught artist, and you've got that fantastic adventure that he takes you on through his experience of sketching and through his experience of being out on location at the wildlife parks. So he's got a wealth of knowledge. You've got your DVD there. Now the DVD, let me just have a look at this. Your DVD, 70 minutes. So you've got your project selection, you've got a biography on Vic himself. I think it's a great name, isn't it? Vic Bearcroft. Special feature, pen hatching techniques. How interesting. So there's a special feature on there as well. You've also got a trial pack. Now this is interesting, of your velour paper. Wow. So this is really suitable for your pastels and oil pastels and charcoal, your pencils and your crayon, because with velour, this is 260 GSM. With your velour, as you know, velour, it's like tiny, tiny fibres, isn't it, that kind of grab like that. So that's why this is so good for your pastels, so good for your charcoal and your pencils as well, because it's almost going to grab in that medium into the paper itself, which is going to give you those wonderful effects. The book, let's just have a quick flick through the book. It's fascinating, isn't it? Big cats, absolutely amazing. Oh, you can see Vic, here he is, there he is. There's Vic himself. And I mean, some of the techniques in here, that just looks like a photograph. That's amazing. But you too, with your patience and your time, will be able to create. So not just the big cats in your life, some of the little pretty cats as well. So maybe you've got a cat, you've always wanted to capture your cat. But every time you've done it, not capture your cat, that sounds wrong, capture your cat in painting form, or in charcoal form. But every time you've done it, maybe one of the features has not quite been right. Well, when you get this home, you'll be able to watch, you'll be able to read, and you'll be able to sketch, paint, etch along. £32.98, you're saving £10 on this deal. 756004, and we've got another clip from this DVD to show you right now. This is interesting.
Before putting pencil to paper, I think it's important to spend as much time as you can observing your subject, particularly when it comes to animals that are moving around. You'll find that observation will store much more information in your brain than simply looking at something through a camera lens or attempting to draw something immediately without taking any of that anatomy and bulk in. And if you're trying to sketch the full body of the animal, the good place to start is the circle to represent the head. This will fix the head in a certain position and allow you to build up around that. So a little bit of shading around also helps to push the subject forward. Not essential in a basic sketch, but you know, these are good little notes to remind you of things like lighting, surroundings, height. Light and shade all create atmosphere as well. So don't just stick to simple basic shapes of your subject. Try and work some tone and other aspects around it. We're not going to bother with features in this case with too much detail in eyes, nose and mouth. So I think we'll call that little basic sketch finished to start with. That's just an introduction to using very simple shading. I want to use this photo of Marley to create an Indian ink painting. I've sketched the image of Marley onto Saunders Waterford paper, 425 grams, not hot pressed, so it has a slight bit of texture, but not too much. At this point, using a 2B pencil, I try to get as much information as possible in the features, so that when we start to paint the detail in ink, we've got a good guide to work from. When we finish glazing, and remember, on a black cat, this could be 100 layers of glazing if you want to, but I'm going to call it a day as far as the glazing is concerned here. The next thing I'm going to do is finish off with the finer details, whiskers, maybe a little touch-up around the eyes, nose and mouth, and so on. As that dries, that will fade back quite nicely into the tone underneath. Just a little bit of feathering around the edge, and we'll call that one done. Here are my sketches of the lynx from our morning visit to Woodside Wildlife Park. Various head studies to begin with, different angles so I can appreciate the shape of the head, and particularly the ears with the nice pointed tufts. So again, we can leave it like that, let it dry, see what it dries like. If it needs a little bit more shading, we can just add a little bit of natural grey over the top of that. Okay, so we're ready for our final glaze, our shadow glaze. So I'm going to do the same as I did with the trees, and that's take a little bit of the natural grey in with the burnt umber to create a cooler shadow tone. I think we want a little bit of shadow around the muzzle, the nose, coming down to the chin, because that's obviously turned downwards. So it's going to be, again, away from the light. That looks better. more of a shadow around the eyes now. Finally, what I'll do is just take a little bit of the natural grey and add a tiny bit more shadow in the upper part of the eye.
Absolutely mesmerising. I painted a lion with some texture paste using a palette knife. I just had a go. And it's really interesting to make sure you get the features right, because it makes a huge difference about the nose and the eyes, and just learning where to set them, how large, how small, how wide, how narrow to put everything on the cat's face makes a difference and makes it more lifelike. And once you know, then you know, and you can carry on, you can continue painting in that fashion. Right, we're moving on. We've got some pastels for you. You might want these to go alongside some of the DVDs and books that we've got. So a whole set of 12 soft pastels, and you've also got your pastel blenders as well. And these are in different sizes. So you've got a number 6 going down to a number 1, 6 being the largest. Let's just, sorry with my hand in the way. And then that's number 1. So that's your size ratio. That's what it goes from and to. And these are great for taking your pastels and then blending the colours in. So if you were perhaps drawing a tiger, for example, you were using the orange colours here with a bit of the yellow and a bit of the black, you might want to blend some of these in so it didn't look like literally stripes. You wanted to blend them in to look like fur. You wouldn't use those to blend, you would use your blenders right here. So this is a great little kit, and you've got lots of colours here from the SAA, and the SAA is all about quality. It's all about artists, and it's a membership. You can join the membership by going onto our website and follow the link, and then of course you can join, be part of that community. But my point being, the SAA artists, 12 soft pastels by Frisk, and you also get the blenders as well, so it's the right kind for you. £20.71, you're saving £6 on this deal. 428731 is your item number. So it really is a great show to top up or to buy something. Maybe this is something you've been thinking about and you want to start a new craft, for example. Maybe someone has seen you sketching and you're drawing and said, why don't you have a go with pastels? Maybe you've seen some demonstrations with pastels and you want to have a go yourself. Well, now if you pop this into your basket with your blenders, you can do that confidently at home. Right. Oh, we've got some watercolours now. Learn watercolour quickly. You can still take your time. It's not a speed read or anything like that. You can still take your time. You can watch the DVD as many times as you like. But this is by Hazel Sohn again. So the book itself, it's not too thick, so we like that. If you just want to jump right into watercolouring, you get the stuff you need. So it'll take you all through the different stuff that you need. You've got your brushes, the different putting paint onto the paper, which of course is very important. This would make a great gift, it really would. And then again, it's not about speed learning, it's just about being able to jump in quickly. So Learn Watercolour Quickly by Hazel Sohn, just £20.59, the DVD and the book, saving £5 on that deal. The book and the DVD, and I do believe we've got a clip from the DVD. The DVD itself is 60 minutes, and it's with Hazel. I do believe it's, oh, take your favourite artist home with you. Let's have a look.
You don't need many materials to paint good watercolours. Less is more is the watercolour motto, and this applies just as much to the materials as it does to the actual painting. I know, art shops can be overwhelming. You don't need all that. All you need is a few brushes, a handful of paints, a palette to mix on, paper to paint on, water pots to hold your water, and kitchen towel to act as a rag. The main ongoing cost in watercolour painting is going to be the paper. But since you can only learn to paint by painting on the paper, it is rather essential. The paintings in this film are all made with 100% cotton paper. Most of them are rough surface. So if you like the appearance, I suggest you start with the same paper. The aim is to use as few brush strokes as possible to say the most in your painting. So use the biggest brush you think you can get away with. This was a 12. Now let's use this 10 to paint this ivy. Again, we mix the colour on the palette, bring the brush to a point, and this is a slightly rougher paper than before, so you might just see the edge of the brush catching, but you see how we just keep the colour running together, and then we can use a nice fine line, and the brush carries a lot of water. Sometimes you'll find your hand will creep down almost to the ferrule. The brush is a moving thing within your hand. Look, you can make any shape you want. In any one painting, you'll probably use a combination of all these techniques. Follow me through while I paint this scene of Siena. I'm going to start by dampening the paper at the base of the sky, right across the buildings, because I'm going to put in, first of all, a very pale wash, wet in wet, of Indian yellow, just to give a glow to the base of the sky. And because it's very pale, it can go right across the buildings. And these little towers, while all that's drying, there's plenty I can be getting on with, these little tower shapes, or whatever they are, on the top of the tower. We can't see them clearly, we don't need to, because the brush can just play nice little forms. And here, where this paint is still wet, if we use very dry paint, we can paint on top of that while it's slightly damp still. So we're using really neat paint here, because there's still water on the paper from the wash. So you can see watercolour is a quick medium. You could make a painting like this on your holiday in half an hour to an hour. One of the great things you can do with watercolour is cover large areas quickly. We call this the wash. And now we're coming with the burnt umber. The very wet watercolour would dry lighter than it looks on the paper, so you can afford to be quite bold in your colours if you're trying to go for something quite strong. So I'm putting drier colour now into my landscape, which in general would be a bit darker than the sky, reflected in the seascape below. The sides of where the canvas laps over would be a tiny bit darker in tone than the top, which is catching the light. And these kind of shades always have this sort of thing, what do you call it, by the top of the pole. A little bit of detail now on the figures. White in shadow is shown very well with a light blue. So this, his t-shirt where he's casting a shadow underneath, can be in the blue, and if we darken behind her, then it will look like she's got a pale t-shirt on, pale white, her hair a little bit.
It's interesting, isn't it? It really is. And you can have these at home if you pop them into your basket, and do check on out. So that's learning watercolour quickly. But again, it's not a speed test, but you've got all of the information right there to get you started. Okay, let's talk about an oil starter set, painting with oils. So we've had painting with pastels, painting with watercolours. Now let's talk about painting with oils. So we've got the quality of the name of Daler-Rowney just there. You have got your 6 colours inside here. Let's have a look at the colours that you are getting in this particular set. So you've got your primary colours in there. You've got your white, your yellow, you've got, it's like a reddy orange in there, green, blue and black. So you've got some great colours in there, great for doing your scenes and great for mixing up as well. You've also got your Brittle Interlock brush. This is a size 10 and I like this, it's ergonomically designed, so you can get quite down to the tip if you want to, but also you can use this at a distance from that tip, which is really nice. Very springy, very, very resilient. And you also have, of course, your practice sheets as well. And this is 280 GSM, it's 100% cotton and it's acid free, and they are triple primed. Now we say practice, but you know what? If you want to go straight onto this and start painting, then this is going to be perfect for you. Absolutely beautiful, look at that. Yeah, so it's like somebody It's just taking it from that canvas and you can start painting on it. So yes, you could use this for practicing, but you know what? I'd just go straight on there and, oh, it smells so new, so lovely. Oh yeah, that is lovely. So you've got your canvas practice sheets, but again, I think they're good, excellent quality to go straight in and start painting your designs on with your oil. If you don't want to go get hold of that, it's 824 090 £24.48. Now let's head back to watercolours. And this is painting with vibrant colours. And sometimes this takes a little bit of encouragement, because it might be something that you've stayed away from because you're not quite sure about the bright colours, how they'll work together. But the great thing about this is that you can just unleash your creativity and really take in how you can use those bright, bold colours with that intensity in your design. So, Hazel Lale, you've got your book and you've got your DVD. Your DVD is 75 minutes in length. Let's just turn that round so you can see our Hazel just there. So you get a little biog on the back. British artist is our Hazel. Turn this around. It's interesting, isn't it, actually? Just to show you that picture of the horse. Maybe normally you would just use dark brown colours, but doesn't it change it when you start to use the bright colours? You might not have a horse of that colour, but doesn't it look fantastic? And of course with your bright bold colours as well, makes your paintings very, very attractive. Just opening this up to have a look. So you've got that lovely horse there, maybe going out into a show. So you've got your introduction, and then you've got lots of useful, helpful tips in there as well, including using your watercolours. £20.59, saving £10 on this deal, 349978. Again, these are going to make excellent gifts for you. And we've got a little clip from the DVD right now.
So there are various approaches. One starts off quite simply, putting in the basic outlines of the place that I've been to and the subject that I want to draw. This is going to be blue, predominantly blues, because my idea, the idea to start this painting was to use blue. So blue goes through into all of the drawings, and then there are some other colours to complement that. And then eventually a final sketch, which is this one. Really feel happy with this sketch. I like the freedom. I like the pattern that the buildings around, the whole key are making. And the colour is a big hit. Having decided on the composition and the whole design, we've got line, which explains the subject. We've got shapes, which is what I'm interested in, which patterns the paper. And all of that then evolves into something possibly three-dimensional from the use of paint. So I've kept it relatively light. I've kept some nice pieces of dry paper. Gives me that control. It hasn't all swum together. Remembering that lots of water, little pigment with the yellow, increasing the pigment, less water, then to get to the purple, equal amounts of water and pigment. So it all holds in a place. So I'm going to go again. Lemon yellow. Just add that little bit of oomph. This is quite a quick way. Just, you know, doing a reasonable drawing, doing a bit of planning, is to do this end piece, which could go towards a very large painting, because you've tried the colours out, see if they work, and make a bigger painting. Yellows, bright yellows, sunshiny places. So things with little quick sketches that go towards building up a bigger painting. You want it to be relatively speedy, because if you go slow and become over-detailed, I don't know about you, but I get quite bored with it. So little quick sketches, get the essence of where the scene is, start to paint, have some sense of having done some stuff in the sketchbook, worked out a few ideas, keep it in your head, transfer it over to some more sketches and keep going. The things that are happening on this piece of the paper, can you see all these different shapes that are evolving? A little piece here, a little piece there. If you watch carefully, keep concentrating, keep your eye on what's happening when you put the paint down, what's happening to the other colours that are already there. But it's making some, what I think are delicious shapes. So, okay, I've got a lovely shape coming here, might not have wanted it there, but it is appearing, so why not keep it? Nice little shape just there. There's some multi-layering there, which makes it active, makes it three-dimensional. Love it.
I love that. And the very use of those bright colours as well makes it exciting, doesn't it? So see what happens when you get your bright colours on the paper. Right. Can you draw? Do you know what? I think everybody has the ability to draw. I really, really do. And this is a great little starter pack for you. You've got your sketch pad, 290 millimetres by 205. So that's a really good size, especially if you're sketching something and you want to put it into a frame. It's 300 GSM, 20 sheets in total. And you're also getting your pencils as well. So you've got, pencil-wise, you've got your 2H, your H, your HB, your B, your 2B, and your 3B. To be or not to be. But great set of pencils there. And you've also got a DVD as well. It's quite remarkable what you can produce just using pencils and just using that sketchy ability that I think everybody has. Now, if you've never done anything like this before, this is a really good kit to go for. It will give you the foundation, the basics, and then you can build on that. But what's lovely about it is that when you're watching the DVD, you're going to have the pad and the pencils to sketch along, and it's £24.88, saving £8, 074065. And here's a clip from the DVD.
If you can write your name, learn to drive a car or follow a recipe, you can learn to draw. Drawing just requires a few easily learned skills. Starting with steps aimed at stretching your seeing muscles, we'll be taking steps to make sure that you improve, and each step you take will make each next step that much easier to learn. And soon you'll be drawing with confidence and being just as good at drawing as you want to be. What we're trying to do is capture the effects of light when it falls on those forms. Now, there aren't many options. There are spheres, or rounded eggs or ovoid shapes. There are cubes, or rectangular box shapes. There are pyramids and wedges, which have 3 sides or more. There are cylinders, which can be fat or thin. And there are cones that can be narrow or wide. Sometimes it can be hard to see what those simpler forms are. So, let's have a look at some subjects that would each make a nice drawing and find out what simple forms we can see in them. Here's a simple... I'm very simply looking at the angles formed by the extremes of my subject, and I'm going to very quickly map in. Now remember, my first lines, my 2 diagonals that form the overall outer shape of my subject, aren't the same as the lines that I can see that form the rectangular box shape of the book. So this is me creating a map of all the elements in my drawing. Now I can see that the bottom edge of the orange is just a little lower than the top of the right hand corner. If I want to make it really dark, I might make the lines crisscross each other to make it look even darker. And I might also use some directional lines to just indicate the fact that this is not, in fact, a solid rectangular box, but it's a book that has some pages. Draw anything and everything. Draw anywhere and everywhere. Keep a small hardback sketchbook and a medium clutch pencil, doesn't need a sharpener, with you at all times. Enjoy looking at everything. Even if it's not convenient to stop and draw, ask yourself what marks you would make to capture what you're seeing. Drawing the landscape provides wonderful opportunities for practice. Aim to identify elements of the scene in the near, middle and far distance that will make your drawing interesting to others. Include at least 2 of these elements, say near and middle or middle and far. How will your marks vary in order to show where these elements are in the scene?
Some good tips there, some good tips. And the great thing about this kit is that you get the pad, you get the pencils as well, the collection of pencils, and you also get the DVD as well. So it's a great little starter kit. If you know somebody that's got a flair for drawing and you want to take them to the next level, then this is going to be absolutely perfect. If you've always wanted to draw better yourself, what a great little tutorial to get home. £24.88, saving £8 on this deal. That usual price of $32.88 reduced for you. 074065. All the items on the show today have come from the SAA. If you do want to join and become a member of that community, to get the help, the tuition, and to get the support as an artist, this is what you do. You can find it on this show. Don't put it into your basket though, just scroll down and then you'll see a link. That's what you want to do, select that link and that will take you to the SAA website. And that's where you can go and join. And you get your free watercolour set as well, and that's worth over £20. So you go for your free watercolour set there with the SAA when you join the membership. Here's a little factoid for you. I actually used to do some presenting for the SAA. Yes, I did. And a fabulous company they are as well. And they're there to help. That's what's nice. There's no judgment. There's nobody saying, oh, you can't draw or you shouldn't be doing that. It's very encouraging. And that's what's really nice when you want to develop your skill. Maybe you've not started painting yet. Maybe you've got a flair for sketching and you want to take it into painting. Well, we've got a great one-day special for you, saving £10 on this deal. Unleash your watercolours. This is from Jane Betteridge. You've got your book and you've got your DVD and you're also getting your granulation medium as well. And in the DVD and booklet, it will explain how to use your granulation medium, which is really good for adding texture to your paints, your watercolour paints that normally just wash onto the page. You can actually build the colour up, which is fabulous. And you can also put it onto watercolour when it's dried as well. Now, let me just pick this up and give you a quick flick through the book. So you can see you've got lots of different techniques in here. Techniques for your drawings of castles, for example, sea drawing, drawing lots of flowers in there. I'm not going to show you the whole of the book because you do need to buy it to see it, but there's so many projects in there. And when we were looking at this earlier, every page we were like, oh my goodness, that's amazing. Oh wow, that's amazing as well. So that's the book. You're also getting the DVD as well. And the DVD will take you through those lessons for you. Let me just have a look at how much you've got on the back here. 60 minutes. 60 minutes. The great thing, of course, about having a DVD is that you can stop it, you can pause it, you can rewind it, you can watch it again, you can watch it again, you can pause it and rewind it. So you're learning in your own time. So what a great deal for you. The book, the DVD and the granulation medium as well. £28.09. 725211 is your item number if you want to go for this. And remember, you can head to our website and join the SAA and become a member if you want to. 725211. Now, if you want the book on its own, you can get the book on its own if you want to. We'll bring up the details on the screen. 383219. It's got a different item number. So the book on its own is just £14.99. That is excellent value for money. If you want to go for the book on its own, £14.99. Remember, this is brand new today. But lots of you going for the whole complete kit. You can shop online at hochanda.com or you can give us a call and the girls and guys in the call centre will take your call and pop this into your basket. And when you're on the website, you might want to shop by brand or you might want to go and have a look at all the other items that we've got on the show for you. Talking of other items, how about learning to paint with oils and learning to paint quickly? We don't mean quickly as in you've done your painting. We mean that you've got a book here and you've got a DVD that's going to get you straight into painting with your oils to give you a really good grounding, a really good foundation so that you can continue. And that's what it's all about. It's about getting it right in the first place and then continuing on your journey. So you've got your book and your DVD. You've got your two brushes as well. These are Interlock brushes, beautifully designed on your brushes. Let me just check the size of those again for you. Size wise, you have got your 6 and your 10. Perfect. And your DVD, you've got 80 minutes on your DVD, and this is going to take you through your techniques so then you can continue your journey using oil paints. You can see there, that is lovely, isn't it? That looks like a photograph. That's incredible. But that's the beauty of getting it right in the first place to continue your journey, whatever level you're at, whatever level, then take advantage of that deal. £26.34. Now, a one-day special, remember, is a discount for 24 hours and 24 hours only. We will have another live show at 8 o'clock tonight, and then we'll have repeat shows throughout the night as well. Now, we'll be back tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. with another live show for the one-day special, 12 p.m. and your final call at 4. We'll be talking to Anita a little later on, but stay where you are because we've got more live shows coming up.